Okay, so we're just going to have a look at a text here, and we are going to analyse it under the whole context, audience and purpose banner. And to do that, we're going to use the gap slit method. So we're going to look at genre, audience, purpose, style, layout, information and tone. So the genre, so to speak, well, the genre is thankfully very evident really here. We can see it right here. It's a speech. It's a speech by Nelson Mandela. So we know immediately that it's going to be a speech. This also helps give us some level of context as well. I know we're not looking at that just at the moment, but he's given a speech at a Make Poverty History campaign in London. So if you're analysing a piece of text like this, you might want to mention the context if it gives you clues like this. So we've got genre. Audience. Well, the audience is a group of people who are obviously very interested in making poverty history. So he's given a speech to a large group of people who have some sort of interest in making poverty history, in closing the massive gap in terms of inequality in the entire world. Okay, so purpose. So we can get some clues as to purpose here. So we know it's either going to be persuasive, it's going to be informative, it's going to be instructional, or it's going to be descriptive. Now, given that this is a speech and it's being made at this Make Poverty History campaign thing, well, the word there, campaign, might tell you that there's something persuasive about this, raising awareness. And yeah, we can see this here. I mean, he's using very persuasive language here. As long as poverty, injustice and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest. Moreover, the global campaign for action against poverty represents such a noble cause that we could not decline the invitation. So again, we are seeing here there's elements of persuasion here. He's bringing this to our minds that, you know, there's massive poverty and obscene inequality are such terrible scourges. So very emotive language here. So I think we can very definitely chalk this up as a persuasive speech. So we've got our genre, we've got our audience, and we've got our purpose. So now let's have a look at his style. So it's very hard-hitting. He's using a lot of words here for dramatic effect. So the style could be, it's a very dramatic style, it's a very forceful style. He's really making a point very strongly here. Use of those words like, as long as poverty, injustice and gross inequality and massive poverty, obscene inequality. So this is clearly someone who's speaking from the heart. They are speaking with emotion, with real force about these issues. And as we go through, we can see this, and you'll be able to see it as you have a look at your copy of this as well. And again, we've got here, they are trapped in the prison of poverty, it is time to set them free. So some nice rhetorical flourishes here. So the style is very persuasive, it's very emotional, it is very driven, it is very forceful. Layout, given this is a speech, is not so important. There's a couple of things to draw your attention to here, really. I mean, he addresses the crowd at the start, and at the end he says thank you, so we can tell this is a speech. If this was a newspaper article, obviously we expect to see different features of layout. We might see headlines, pictures, those might tie into the text as well. Information. Information you're going to have a look at, I should imagine, when you're looking through this. I just want to draw out a couple of important points here. So, key piece of information really he's getting across is that there is a lot of poverty and inequality in the world, that they are terrible evils, that this group, Campaign for Action Against Poverty, is equating it with the movements to abolish slavery. He's thanking people for their time. He's saying that it's now time to free people. So the information we're getting across here is how terrible poverty is and things need to be done about it. Further information, he's talking here in office in 2004. In 2005 there's an opportunity to make an impact. So he's talking about this meeting for the Millennium Declaration, which was to halve extreme poverty. He's telling us that actually it's not working. The people are failing in their goals to halve extreme poverty. he's talking about G8's climates and things like that, and poverty. And it's really, the information here is about how terrible poverty is, how terrible inequality is, and how something needs to be done about it, and that at the moment there will be some meetings taking place which can help to resolve this. We've got language as well as a feature we need to analyse. We've already started to look at this really. Massive poverty, obscene inequality. So he's using very emotive language here. He's using the rule of 3 as well: poverty, injustice, and gross inequality. Repetition of poverty again and again and again. He's making incredibly emotive comparisons here from poverty to prison, and he's using that metaphor that it's time to set them free. He's using a metaphor here as well, trapped in the prison of poverty. Imprisoned, enslaved, and enchained. So we've got another rule of 3 here. You've got some nice juxtaposition here. The world is hungry for action, not words. So he's comparing those two things: act with courage and vision. And of course we've got the world is hungry for action. So he's extending this metaphor of hunger, of poverty really. He's saying it's not just these people starving in terrible war-torn countries or terribly impoverished countries that are hungry. Everyone is hungry, not necessarily for food, but certainly for action. And yes, there we are. So we've done a brief analysis of the content of this speech.